MGT wear the headdress. Well, not only the Muslim women wear headdress, but the Hebrew women and real Christians will cover their head too, because it's written in the Bible as well as the Qur'an that your hair is the crowning beauty of a woman. And if you notice, sisters, when you can have a pretty face, but if your hair ain't right, and you can have an ugly face, but if your hair is right, something about your hair make your face look better. Excuse me. So when you fix your hair real pretty, that's a very attracting feature. So when you come to the mosque, and usually when you go to the Catholic Church, they ask you to put something on your hair. If you notice, the nuns, they're covered. And it's because you are not there to attract a man to the beauty of you. You're there for purpose of worship. And even when you go in the street, you shouldn't be in the street to attract men to your beauty, because what you see is generally what you get. And usually when you see the Muslim sister in the street, she is to cover her hair. A lot of the sisters don't do it. But when the Honorable Elijah Muhammad was among us, I mean, you'd catch hell if he caught you in the street without your hair covered. That's the mark of a Muslim and a righteous woman. You cover your hair. And then you cover your body in a proper manner, so that men just are not, looking and seeing your form. And some of you really don't think you're beautiful without showing your body. And, a man is just not made to see your body and think, straight. I mean, it's just a fact. I mean, I don't care how holy he is. If many holy men have fallen, brother. But you got to help us to be holy, sister. We just can't be holy by ourselves. But you walk around undressed and a man trying to be holy? And sister will laugh, because I heard a lot of them say, I'll make that so-and-so put that Bible down. But tell me nothing about no holy Qur'an. I know what's holy around here. And she put on one of them tight jean pants, doctor, and one of them tight little shirts with no foundation under it. Shoot. You see the priest. I better run upstairs and say 5 Our Fathers and 6 Hail Marys. I mean, I'm not trying to be an entertainer, but it's always good to teach wisdom with laughter, because it takes harsh truths and it makes them softer. But sisters, we can't be the right kind of men without your help. There's no way that a man can be good without you. That's why the Honorable Elijah Muhammad said, where there are no decent women, there are no decent men. For the woman is the mother of civilization. So you really have to help us. And if you know already what I'm saying is right, because some of you that really know you have beautiful bodies, they got clothes out here that you can wear that show just what you got.
Islam gives a woman the true liberty and equality of being like a man, no slave to any creature. God and God alone is her Lord. It is Him she worships, and it is His favour that she seeks. Yet there are those who completely dismiss the natural differences between men and women. They are the very same people who manipulate and, under chic clichés of unisex and perfect similarity, exploit women. They use them as commercial props, making them show now a leg, now a breast, in order to sell a new car model, a transistor radio, a sack of potatoes, or even worse, their own bodies. But women are human beings, and Amazons exist only in Greek mythology. Reality is different. As Aristotle, himself a Greek, admits, although there may be exceptions to the order of nature, a male is by nature fitter for command than the female. In Islam, the commanding role of a husband within the family takes the form of constitutional rather than despotic government. Islam is very serious on the need for the rights of women to be protected by society and treated with utter dignity and kindness. A woman, no matter how heavily militarized or trained she is, has the right to this protection. Fads and fashions are not Islam's way of regulating human affairs. It is the truth and the truth only that matters. Men are not women and women are not men. That is the fact of life and of biology. Yet there is a greater universal truth which Islam emphasizes, the higher equality of the human race, regardless of sex or color. Men and women are different, but they complement each other, and all are equal before God.
The reality today for many Muslim women today is not what Islam says. And I think that the reason for this is a variety of things. One is a misunderstanding of Islam in the first place, and two, I think it's that we as Muslim women are falling into the trap of understanding equality within a Western materialistic understanding of it. And what we bring to Islam is this package of Western history, of Western, the way the West in their history have treated women throughout different civilizations. For example, the Roman civilization. I mean, they used to have discussions about whether women were equal or lesser than dogs. You know, that's the sort of level of discussion of women from as far back as the Roman times, and that has, which has culminated with the suffragette movement in Britain, late last century, early this century, which was asking really to be the same as men, where Islam says that men and women are different but equal in their differentness. And I think that's the important thing that we ourselves need to remember, that it's this difference which is important.
It is on the basis of their common humanity and spiritual equality that the relationship between men and women must be based. It must be governed by kindness and mutual respect, and hence Islam accords to a woman the dignity that is her right. The dignity of a woman is not a gift given by some man or some government. It is a right given to her by her Creator, the very Creator who created the male and the female from one and the same source. O mankind, be careful of your duty unto your Lord, who created you from a single soul, and from it created its mate, and from them twain hath spread abroad a multitude of men and women. Appropriately dressed, well-meaning, and aware of her dignity as a human being, a woman may employ her abilities in any arena Islam considers lawful, the only constraints being that A, the work must not threaten the stability of her family, and B, it must not expose her to psychological insecurity. She may buy and sell, she may go to markets, but not to trade her body or sell her charms in the shops of amorous wares. She may not go on stage and strip naked for open-minded businessmen. There are many who call for this brand of liberalization, but it is this form of slavery that Islam came to free women from.
When I see Muslim sisters dress like a Muslim, you have a sense of pride dignity. You feel a sense of belonging. It just sweeps over you. You say, Alhamdulillah, mashallah, when you see a Muslim sister. You don't know her, but you just see as she flows along, and that brightness in her face with her hijab is so rewarding.
Also about hijab is that from an individual point of view, you suddenly realize how much time you might have wasted on going to the hairdressers, or how much time you may have wasted on other sort of cosmetic things, basically. And you know, things like you might be worried about, even like your size. There's this preoccupation about being size 12, and if you're not size 12, you've had it in this society. And I think the more I've investigated about the Islamic dress, is that if you look historically, it was extremely egalitarian for women amongst themselves as women. It reduced competition amongst women, because women do have a tendency, when they're with each other, to try and outdo each other in the way they're dressing, you know. So Islamic dress being very cut on very straight, geometrical, shape-free lines, freed you of that. And equally, you see, we didn't, like a lot of women in the West have been fighting to say, we want to wear trousers, we want to wear a bow tie, we want to smoke. But they want to be the same as men. But in Muslim, if you look at Muslim countries, men and women, generally speaking, wore the same clothes, like kaftans. Men wear kaftans and women wear kaftans, but they wear it differently. So therefore, you're not trying to say, okay, we want to be like the same, so we're going to be like men. The whole argument about dress is different. So I think it's a question of putting things in perspective. Is to, at the end of the day, hijab seems to be only presented in the sense that it's to prevent men from being sexually aroused. While it may serve that function, I certainly don't think that is its primary function. I think the primary function is for the woman's benefit. At the end of the day, Allah, in His wisdom, He created these laws and regulations for the benefit of the individuals, whether male or female. And I think hijab is for, in a woman's context, is for a woman's benefit. And we're the ones, when we understand why we're doing it and do it of our own free will, we are the ones who ultimately benefit from it.
The way I see it, brother, in terms of the covering and our headpiece, everything has a meaning behind it. And I look at our garments giving us more of equality in that sense. But our look is more modernized, it's more of a look of elegance, it's more of a look of upliftment, and it's a look of equality.
Yeah, it's very fashionable as well. So we're trying to set a trend of modesty, but attractiveness. When you see someone covered around their eyes, with all due respect, you don't know who's behind that veil. You can't even see who they are. Everything's completely covered. It's almost like it's taboo to even get close to them. With us, you're approachable, but there's still a certain covering that says don't get too close. But there's an attractiveness that says, hey, I'm interested to find out a little bit more. And as she said, there's science behind everything. The head covering. We cover our heads like they do because we believe that our hairs are adornment. That is something that's very attractive. Also, in the Qur'an, from my understanding, it says cover to the bosom. It doesn't say cover your face.
It's a representation of our nation. You know, it's sleek, it's sophisticated, it's modern, but also, too, it gives the community and the world a chance to focus on the face and focus on the intelligence versus more on the mystique of the garment and why they're covered that way. My judgment is they have some type of perception of why we're judged that way with a Muslim, but it kind of brings us up to modern times. So.